So my daughter's almost 3. She's the light of my life, and she's also the thorn in my side. And if you're a parent, I think you know what I mean. Before I had a daughter, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I was scared to bring a child into this world. These are crazy times. I mean, look around. For today's video, I'm gonna talk to you fathers. No disrespect to the moms, but I wanna get one-on-one with the dads. Because the dads have a really important job that I don't think many of them realize. It's our job to teach our children, son or daughter, life. It's not easy. We all struggle with life. We struggle with trying to figure out how we're gonna make enough money to support our families, how to keep up with these inflationary pressures that are putting major weight on a lot of the fathers out there when they try to figure out, how do I support my family? How do I provide the life that I want to for my family? How do I pave the way for my children in this time where you can barely scold your children, tell your children what to do, and everything around them is saying they're just supposed to stand back, put their hands out, and everything's gonna be handed to them? We have created a society of very weak people, and we have to draw the line in the sand right now. And we have to show our children, our daughters, our sons, whatever you have, we need to show them how to be strong. My name's Chris Naugle, and this is What Now? What's next? I'm gonna specifically talk about my daughter. And I'm gonna specifically talk to all you dads out there who have daughters. Now, a lot of times when we're thinking about what we're gonna teach our children, we look at our lives and we want our children to be just like us. We want them to learn all the things that we enjoyed, all the things that we did, but that might not be what our children want. Maybe they're too young like mine to really know what they want, but we can see the signs by watching and paying attention. And isn't it funny how our children, they seem to have no limitations to what they can dream. You ever watch your child play, like intently, just sit there and watch them imagine things? Have you ever watched them pretend that something is real, and it almost seems like they don't know the difference between what's real and what's not? And they also don't know limitations. They have no comprehension at a young age what limitations are, which is awesome. Can you imagine what life would be like if we went about every single day not knowing limitations? What if we went about every single day just chasing our dreams, not having other people tell us we can't, we shouldn't, telling us our ideas are stupid or everything we're doing is not right? That's society. Social media has literally put us in a little square box, but that little square box has been there forever. If it wasn't the haters on social media, it was our parents. If it wasn't our parents, it was the people closest to us. Every time we get this great dream, this great vision, we take it to the people that we love, the people we're closest to. Why? Because that's who we want to get excited with. That's who we want to tell, because we're comfortable with them. And what do they mostly do? Shoot it down. Listen, I see it every single day. I see dads wanting their children, whether it's a son or a daughter, to do the things that dad did. Maybe the dad was a football player and loved it, and they want their kids to play football, or maybe it's soccer, or maybe it's baseball, or maybe it's basketball. Whatever it is they did, they want their children to do it. I'm guilty. Of course I want my daughter to skateboard. Of course I got her a skateboard already. I mean, she's almost 3. Why shouldn't she have 1 or 2 skateboards? Why shouldn't she have a snowboard? But that's just because I look at my past, and those are the things I loved. But I also watch her intently when she's playing, when she's imagining this stuff, when she's just sitting there with her toys and singing and just getting into it. And I often wonder, what are the things she's gonna fall in love with? What are the dreams that she's gonna tell me about someday? And how am I gonna react? Your job as a father is to listen, to watch, to observe, and to support and give when needed. Here's the thing you should never do. Never just hand your children money. Never just keep giving it to them. Never just make things easy and just hand them things, because you're not helping them. you're hurting them. Teach them the importance of the tool called money. Teach them how it works. Teach them what I teach all of you every single day, how to be the bank. It's right here, folks. This is it. You're just looking at a piece of paper with a bunch of numbers, but this is so much more than that. I decided to start a savings program for my daughter. Essentially, what I actually started is Vivi's first banking system. You see, my daughter will never know money the same way that your kids do. And I don't mean that in a bad way. And you can change what your children think about money, how they treat money, how they handle money by changing one thing, and that's where your money goes first, or where their money goes first, if you really want to teach them. You see, I put Vivi's money, which isn't Vivi's money, this was my money, but most parents save for their children. They want to save for college. They want to save for that down payment so that when their children get older, they'll help them out with their first home. They want to save so that they can do the things, travel, go places, right? Well, my daughter's going to have all those same things. She's going to want to go to school. She's going to want to get married, which requires a wedding. She's going to want to probably buy a house. Someday she's going to have children and they're going to need to go to school. And someday she might even want to have a little extra income during those retirement years. And all I did is I set her up for first banking policy. And you know what this is? It's not what you think. This is a specially designed and engineered whole life insurance policy that I own, her dad owns. I will control her banking system and I will teach her the hard lessons. Some of you are going to disagree with this. When she wants her first car, most of you just go out and you buy your daughter or your son their first car. Oh, here's the gift. You are hurting them. Vivi will never have that. Vivi and me will look through magazines. We'll look at the different cars she wants. We will dream up like the perfect vehicle and how she wants it. She might not be able to get that perfect vehicle, but we're gonna really spend the time to get excited. You see, my daughter right now is almost 3, and in the mail all the time, I don't know why, but we get a postcard from Porsche, and right on the front of it's got a picture of a red Porsche 911. A beautiful car, isn't it? My daughter loves that car. Every time it comes, she says, Vivi's car, Vivi's car. I don't know why. I don't know why it has to be a red 911 Porsche, but you know what? Here's the cool part. Why couldn't she have that car? She won't get it when she's 16, but why can't she have that?
Oh, those are too expensive. Oh, those are silly. Only the wealthy can get those.
Is that really what I'm gonna tell my daughter? No way. I'm gonna say, sweetie, you can have that car or any car you ever want. Because when you understand that you are the bank, all we need to do is save enough to buy that car. But you see, here in Vivi's plan, I started that savings for $5,000 a year. Now, don't get hung up on that number. Maybe yours is $2,000 a year. Maybe yours is $100 a month, $200 a month. Maybe it's less, maybe it's more. It doesn't matter. Your numbers are your numbers. Mine were mine. $5,000 a year. I just changed where I put it. You probably put that money in a bank. Well, I put that money in Vivi's bank, which is a specially designed and engineered whole life. Now hear me out. When Vivi's 16 years old, she has about $100,000 in her bank. So when she begins college the next year, that money goes from 100, actually 99,143 to 108,788. And all we do is put 5,000 in. You doing the math? We put 5,000 in and it goes from 99 to 108. And then she goes to school. And I don't know how much school is going to cost then, but probably more than what I anticipate. I take money out every single year and I pay for her school, but then I teach her what she would have to do if she had to borrow money from somebody else's bank, called a student loan, and how she'd have to make monthly payments back to their bank. And I teach her that since we're taking the money to pay for your college from your bank, we're going to treat our money the same way you would treat the money of those student loans. We're going to pay the same amount they would charge you back to your bank. So when you're done with school and you've got a job, which she probably will get a job, maybe it's running my business, maybe it's helping me run the business, whatever it is she chooses to do, I'm not going to paint that path for her. She will choose. But she will take some of the money she makes and she will then make monthly payments back to her bank. And then she will do the same thing for the wedding. When she needs money for her wedding, yes, dad and mom will absolutely help her with their wedding, but she's going to have to take money from her bank to pay for whatever wedding she wants. And then she's going to have to make payments back to her bank. Now, going into that Porsche 911, let's just say when she's 27 years old, she now has $240,363 in there. Plus, because I'm not assuming that she's repaying these loans with interest. That would be on top. See, that's the thing. She's not making money once, folks. She's making money twice throughout her entire life because she understood how money worked. So that 911 could be very real. She could go buy that car and figure out how much those monthly payments would be if she had to finance it through Porsche Finance Company or whatever bank she was going to go to. And they might come back and say, well, to have that Porsche 911, your payments would be $1,500 a month. As long as she has the income from her work or from her money working for her, she then would take that income and redirect $1,500 a month to her banking system. But here's the difference, folks. A $1,500 payment for a car for some of you sounds ludicrous, sounds idiotic, sounds stupid that a 27-year-old should ever have a 911. But for Vivi, that $1,500 a month goes back to her banking system. So every month she makes the car payment, her banking system has $1,500 more money in it. And that's principal and interest. So her money is working for her, but her money's working for her while she buys the things she wants, does the things she wants. Do you see the difference, folks? I will gladly give any one of you this, the path, so that it pays for Vivi's college, Vivi's wedding, Vivi's down payment on her house. Then when I'm long gone, it funds Vivi's kids' college payments right here. And then when she turns 65, it provides $90,000 tax-free for the rest of her life. She's put in, well, between me and her mom and her, when she starts funding this, a total of $398,000 up to the age of 90 years old. Think about that. So from when she was 6 months old to when she's 90, the amount that she saves in this specially designed whole life is $398,000. The amount that she has taken out to pay for her college, her wedding, the down payment on her house, the college payments for her kids, and tax-free retirement is $2.73 million that she has been able to take out of her banking system. I'm not assuming any of the repayments, any of the interest that she pays herself back. I'm just assuming the dumb whole life's growth and compounding. How much cash value did she actually have? Because I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, $398 for $2.7 million, that's really not a great return, but that's not all the money she had. That's just what she took out to pay for the things she wanted. She had $5.578 million, $5,578,858 is the amount of cash value she had, which means she didn't use $2.9+ million. It's a total net return of 738.41%. Oh yeah, but you were told that whole life is one of the worst places you can put money. You see, it really doesn't matter where you put money. This is where I choose to put my money. This is where I'm going to teach Vivi to put her money, because it is one of the places throughout the history of time that has stood the test. But you know what else has to stand the test of time? You and your children. And I'll tell you something. From what I see standing right here looking into the camera, staring at you, I don't see the same world that we grew up in. I see a difficult world. I see a world in the near future of war. I see a world in the near future of a heavy recession. I see the world in the near future of a time when people have lost just about everything because they didn't plan, because they didn't listen, and partly because too many people conform to somebody else's reality. They never created their own destiny. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, subscribe to this channel right there and click that little alerts button so you're notified every time I put a new video up. And if you want a copy of what I've built for my daughter, in the comments below, down there, and you gotta remember this, write Vivi, V-I-V-I, Lucky Jeans. Vivi Lucky Jeans. That's all I need you to do is put that in the comment and then give me your email and I will send you what I've created, and I can also help you create the same thing for your children if you want. This has been another episode of What Now? What's Next? See you next time.